Okay, today I'm recording the instructions for Dreamweaver Chapter 5, Lab 1, on pages 325 to 326. Lab 1 is modifying our sign-up form with Spry validation for the Healthy Lifestyle website. So to get started, we need to navigate to our Healthy Lifestyle website. You're going to do that by finding your personal drive and finding your Healthy Lifestyle website. If you don't have a Healthy Lifestyle website and it doesn't have the sign up page, call me over at this point to help. So open up your signup.html page, and we're going to use the form that we created in Chapter 4 but add Spry validation so that people have to properly fill in each of the fields that were created in the form. So we're going to start with our first name field. Click on the text field next to first name and navigate to your Spry tab. So if you're on the Forms tab, change it to Spry. We're going to be using these icons. First, we want to insert a Spry validation text field. So click that button. It brings up the property window down below. What you need to do is name the text field. We're going to call this one first name. For preview states, we want to change that to required. And rather than having the text "a value is required," you're going to type in "name required." Okay, now we're going to do the same thing for our last name field. Click on last name text box. Make sure you're on your Spry tab. And we want to use a Spry validation text field again. You're going to name this field. We're going to call it last name. For preview states, we're going to change it again to required. And then change the generic placeholder text to say last name required. We're going to repeat the process for email. Under the Spry tab, add a Spry validation text field. You're going to name the text field email. For what type this is, oops, I don't know why it doesn't like that text field name. I'm going to put email 1. Next to type, you are going to change this to email address. And we're going to change this text to read "a value is required." Actually, let's make it say "an email address is required." Okay, we want to delete this next radio group, and we're going to instead add a Spry radio group. So select these 3 radio buttons and hit delete. On your Spry tab, we want to add a Spry validation radio group. For the name, we're going to call this tips. We're going to change our labels. The first one is going to read dinner. The second one is going to read exercise. And we're going to add one more by hitting the plus sign. That one is going to be called both. So it's the same options, but this Spry validation makes the radio group required. You're going to click OK. When you click on your radio group, if you click on this tab, the blue tab up here, we're going to change the radio group name to Tips. And for the preview states, you're going to change that to Required. And it'll say, please make a selection. Okay, you're going to save these changes. Hit OK if you open up this dialog box. And then you're going to preview it in Internet Explorer or Chrome. You should practice submitting and make sure it works properly. So if I type in nothing and hit submit, you should get all the error messages. If you type in a first name and then hit submit, that turns green and the other two are still red. If you type in an email address that's not the right format, it tells you that it has to have the right format. And you have to answer the radio button question. Okay, so that's all there is to Lab 1, Chapter 5. So save and submit.